Updates on the NBA trade market. The Milwaukee Bucks now expecting to do something big. What are they up to? We're going to talk about the markets for John Morant, Andrew Wiggins, a few other players who may wind up in Milwaukee or potentially wind up elsewhere. Could we be talking 3-team deal brewing in the NBA? I'm Trevor Lane. This is the Basketball Bulletin. Make sure you subscribe right here to the channel. Turn on those notifications as well. We always say it, but about 70% of you're not subscribed. Let's fix that. Hit that subscribe button. Joining me is Donnie Freeman. Donnie, things are picking up around the NBA. The trade rumors, they are flying right now. I love this time of year.
Yeah, it's just going to get better and better. I just want to see something official go through, because rumors are great, but I want to see the Bucks, make some big splashy moves and be amazed at how they were able to do it with limited assets. But this part of the season is still always really fun regardless.
Here's my prediction. My prediction is that, and this is based off of nothing anyone has told me, but my prediction is that by Monday, we will see some type of a move. So it may not be a big move, but some type of move this weekend. It's coming.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see how many of these guys that have been rumored, whether it's like AD or Ja or whoever, right, or LaMelo, who lit the Lakers on fire yesterday.
Ooh,
if anything happens with any of these guys, I'm curious about that.
All right, let's get into this. The Bucks organization is confident a big move is coming via Jamal Collier. We always manage to pull something off. They are trying to appease Giannis Antetokounmpo, keep him happy. Don't forget, Giannis is extension eligible this summer. Should he not sign that extension, the Bucks would immediately have to sound the alarm and figure out what they want to do, because Giannis could be a free agent in the summer of 2027. We know a number of teams are already planning out their cap space situations, like the Miami Heat, as well as their trade assets, hoping to land Giannis. But the Bucks want to do everything they can to convince him to stay. They believe something big is coming. Is John Morant enough? Because now we've got rumors not just linking John Morant to the Bucks, but linking John Morant or not linking John Morant to other places. So, for example, the news from today that the Miami Heat are being overstated as a landing spot for Ja, and they aren't as interested as they've been made out to be. If Ja doesn't have a landing spot that's not, say, Milwaukee, and the Bucks are able to get him on a bargain deal, is that enough to keep Giannis happy?
Depends. Like I can see how that could be enticing, and I can see how you could talk him into that. Like, hey, we just got you a young, loosely using the term superstar guard, who has been able to do XYZ, and you guys are going to play this way, and this is how this could look. Like, you could sell it to them, and you could even sell it to the fan base, I think. And maybe Ja, like we've said before, is able to rebound a bit here. Speaking of which, have you seen some of the stuff coming out from some of the former Memphis players, like Bane and Dylan
about Taylor Jenkins?
Yeah, and Brooks also was saying, hey, that the Grizzlies fell off when they traded him, basically. Like, all this stuff's kind of like interesting, right?
Kick them when they're down.
It's definitely pretty interesting. But I think you could sell it to Giannis, but I think that's a step in the right direction. I don't know that that's enough. It just depends on how dead set he is on winning a title in the next couple of years, right? Because that's probably his prime window. 2-3 more years, probably wants to win something guaranteed by then, or get close. You can't ever guarantee, but get as close as possible. And does Milwaukee, with the affinity you have for the city, put themselves close enough to getting that done? And I think he's going to weigh that.
If Ja, as Michael Scotto of Hoops Hype here notes, who's gotten interest from the Heat, Bucks, Kings, Raptors, and Pelicans. Again, it's not that the Heat don't have interest in Ja, just they're not over the moon trying to get him or anything like that. There are varying levels of interest, I think, of this group. By the way, the Pelicans, a bizarre addition here. What are we doing, New Orleans? What are we doing?
They want to do the Ja and Zion pair. Those were the two top guys for a little bit from that same class or whatever. They wanted to put them on the same team.
DeJounte Murray is over to the side saying, I'm not dead yet. I don't want to go on the cart. Sorry. I'm old. It's a Monty Python reference. But DeJounte Murray in a trade, even putting him in the trade, like what? Oh, pals, what are we doing? Anyway, the Raptors and Bucks are considered the two most real of the suitors here. So the rumor is that the Grizz would want Ryan Rollins and a first for Ja. And if, as Michael Scotto notes here, John Morant has not been playing with effort and joy, and he would find effort and joy if he were traded to the Bucks, you get a much better version of John Morant. If he morphs back into the John Morant that we've seen in the past, maybe it could work out for the Bucks. But would you part with Ryan Rollins and a first-round pick to make it happen if you're Milwaukee?
Yeah, that's pretty tricky. You don't really have a lot of firsts to trade out at this point, right? So you have to be sure that this is something that is going to get you there. And frankly, I think Ja can become that again. I just think it's pretty desperate, but they are pretty desperate, all things considered, right? They don't want to lose this guy, and I can understand it. So you are probably in a position where you do whatever it takes to get a guy in there that Giannis feels comfortable with as his number two, because no matter what Rollins could potentially be, I don't know that he's got superstar in the potential, but regardless, I don't know that Giannis looks at him or the guys around him and says, this is a guy I can really trust when things get tight. This is a guy that I know has some pedigree, some cachet, all that stuff. Whereas with Ja, he's got that. And I think you can look at him and say those things. And I wanted to touch briefly on the Miami thing. I think some of that's also just some counter here, because there was a couple of
counter sourcing.
Yeah, there was a couple of reports there yesterday from probably Jaws camp that, one, Miami is the preferred destination, and two, there was a report yesterday that he bought a $3 million home in Miami. So that's also,
I saw that. I don't buy that stuff though. Like, do I buy that he bought a home in Miami? Yes, but a lot of people want to have a home in Miami.
What does a $3 million home in Miami look like?
I saw it. It does not look. My initial, I saw some responses were like going, "Whoa, you can get that for just $3 million or something." I'm like, oh, that's where I know I've got the people from LA in here. My initial reaction though was, that's all you get for $3 million.
That's what I'm really curious about, what that looks like in Miami. You know,
I'll see if I can find some images of it. But when we're looking at this, why this is all interconnected, by the way, is Miami, their interest in Ja themselves is a little bit muted because they want to maintain assets to go get Giannis.
How funny is that?
Right? Around and around we go. So Milwaukee could get Ja because Miami doesn't want to give up as much. And Milwaukee's getting Ja to appease Giannis. Miami doesn't get Ja because they want to go get Giannis and have enough assets to go get him either on the trade market or when he hits free agency.
Yeah.
It is a tangled web that we weave. Okay, why could this be a 3-team trade? Want to get into that in just a moment. We'll be back in 1 minute. Ever hear the Sleeper app? Here's a little secret. It's more than just a platform for season-long fantasy leagues. This year, millions of users enjoyed playing fantasy sports on Sleeper, but the app offers so much more. Live stats, real-time updates, and visualizations on all stats. A news feed, this is so important for me. You can get lightning-fast updates on your favorite players and teams. A real-time chat to allow you to engage with other users about individual plays and performances during the NFL and NBA seasons. So download the #1 sports app today. Experience it for yourself. When you use promo code Bulletin, you get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper today. And by the way, they do have a phenomenal promo going on right now as well. Free $20 entry. Go check that out. No deposit required. $20 entry for free. Go check them out. Use the link in the description down below, and that promo code is Bulletin. Okay, this is the house that John reportedly bought.
Huh.
Look, that's a nice house. Don't get me wrong.
Obviously nice.
That's a very nice house, no question. But 3,500 square feet. 3,500 square feet is a big house, but that's not like you expect NBA superstar mansion.
What do you mean? Julius Randle just bought like 60,000 acres to build a house on and stuff. Why he needs that much land, I don't know.
Yeah, but where did he buy that?
I don't know.
A little bit different buying in Miami, of course, than.
And what did he do it in Minnesota? I don't know.
Right. Exactly. Look, this is
that's why
nice.
I brought up Miami, because
this is a very nice house. There's no question. But yeah. 3.2 million. Okay. All right. So why could this turn into a 3-team trade? Well, because in order to make the salaries work, Kyle Kuzma, Bobby Portis would probably need to be included. That would leave the Bucks thin on their front court. So, and if you're the Grizz, do we even want back Kyle Kuzma? Probably not. Bobby Portis, maybe they do, right? But this could wind up being a 3-team trade because those guys could wind up getting flipped elsewhere. And then other stuff gets sent to Memphis. Because if I'm Memphis, I'd prefer not to take on the next year of Kyle Kuzma's contract. Now, can you get more? Is the reason why you're getting Ryan Rollins potentially and a first for Ja, who doesn't appear to have much of a trade market, in part because you're willing to eat the second year of Kyle Kuzma's contract? Maybe that's a factor in it. But nonetheless, I could see a scenario where you see a third team get in, especially if that third team is sending back some type of a big to Milwaukee to help sort of fill that void from Kuzma and Portis being potentially on the way out.
Yeah, I think that's probably best case scenario because I don't know that anybody's really looking towards getting that contract for Kuz. So that could be something that's really beneficial to them if they're able to do it the right way.
Now, the other thing that the Bucks could be up to here would be an Andrew Wiggins trade. And the Heat are rumored to actually be scouring the market right now and trying to listen on Andrew Wiggins. Now, they don't want to give up Kello Ware because they want to keep him for a Giannis trade. Again, this is all interconnected. But Miami has gauged the trade market on Andrew Wiggins. Wiggins has a $30 million player option for next season. Again, the Bucks are going to be a buyer on distressed assets. So most teams would not want to pay Andrew Wiggins $30 million next year. That's a bit rich. But what they're going to wind up doing, what the Bucks are trying to do is find players who are good players on the floor. Just maybe the market doesn't value them as such because they're a bit overpaid. So John Morant would be an example potentially of that if he gets his play back on track. Andrew Wiggins could be an example as well. So Andrew Wiggins being a potential target, especially if they could offer Miami pure expirings. Again, the irony of it all, though, is that if, let's say, the Bucks do take on Andrew Wiggins, that could very well be the move that opens up the flexibility for Miami to sign Giannis in 2027.
You remember, though, that's the exact thing that happened with the Lakers and LeBron.
Yep.
When they pulled that trade off at the deadline for Clarkson and Nance, it was like, oh, this actually coincidentally lines things up for him to kind of go there. They shouldn't have let Randall go just the way they did, but that makes enough room. It's very similar. It's very interesting.
Yeah, exactly. So this is now Wiggins' salary expires, so I guess it wouldn't matter too much for 2027, but the flexibility to go swing a trade right now, they could go get him. But if you're the Bucks and you could pick between getting Andrew Wiggins, and I don't know what they would have to give up in order to get him, or John Morant, what is the more prudent path?
Wiggins or Ja?
Yeah.
I think that you try for Ja because the upside, one, and two, the cachet. Like Wiggins would be really nice, but I think he's a little bit more of the same. And if you're Giannis, you're like, it's just Wiggins, right? But maybe Ja comes in and he lights things up. Now their fit will be kind of clunky, but they're such a great 3-point shooting team that I think they can make it work. Because I think for the Bucks' sake, they would be better suited to go for the big name.
Go for the home run swing. You could say, because we tried it with Dame and it didn't work. Exactly. So look, we're trying it again. This time we got you Ja. How about that?
Asset though, like it's not like they've got to send out 5 firsts. Not that they have them, but it's not like they have 5 firsts that they need to give out. Like they would be buying low, right? And at that point, frankly, at that point, he's 26. Maybe he recoups value if Giannis hypothetically does leave. Maybe he recoups value and you're able to ship him out a couple years from now. Maybe he becomes your next guy. Like, I don't know. Like, there's alternate ways this could work out in their benefit, I think. But also a way it could be poor for them, too. Like, maybe they trade him for him. Things don't work out, and now they're stuck with him.
Andrew Wiggins is the more sure thing. You'd have to have the conversation with Giannis. Hey, what would you prefer? If the Bucks get Ja, that's the home run swing. The Bucks getting Ja could be the final nail in the coffin for Giannis's time in Milwaukee. That could guarantee that he leaves if it does not go according to plan, because then you're stuck with Ja's contract on your books for a couple of years. If it works, it could be the Hail Mary salvation of the Bucks' tenure here with Giannis and time with Giannis that keeps him in Milwaukee for the remainder of their career. This is the all or nothing, go big or go home if you go after John Morant, I think.
Ja and Dame together would be or John Dame, excuse me. John Giannis together would be nice, but you said they would have Ja's money on the books. They still have Dame's money on the books. Like it's pretty. I don't know, man. Like that's where I'm like, if you're them, I can understand Wiggins. He's just a little bit more of the same, but I can understand it. It's the safer play. Yeah, absolutely. But you have a high risk, high reward potential with Ja. That maybe is better for what they want.
I'll tell you this. I don't know. Ryan Rollins has been really good. He may be the most improved player. I would not be super eager to give him up either if I'm the Bucks. If you told me they could do it without Rollins involved, and I know that's asking a lot of the Grizz, but and that's where the Grizzlies are going to go, well, why are we taking, well, then we want pure expirings for Ja. We're not taking back Kuzma and Portis' salary if Ryan Rollins isn't involved, but the home run move for the Bucks is to keep Ryan Rollins and get Ja.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Pull it off.
I don't know if they could do all that, but we'll see what happens. I think that there's a couple of opportunities for them here, but it is interesting that they're confident they'll figure something out. So, and it looks, and again, the big picture, the big takeaways: trade market for Ja, Toronto, Milwaukee. Those look like the primary potential destinations, with some other teams on the periphery right now. The Bucks believing internally something big is coming that will make Giannis very, very happy. Ja, Andrew Wiggins, couple of names that are out there right now. Could be something else, though. Seems like there's something cooking there. We'll see where it ultimately goes. Make sure you do subscribe right here to the Basketball Bulletin. Don't forget to turn on those notifications. Until next time, everybody. See ya, and stay safe.